Hi there, I'm Rebecca Ryan. I'm a shamanic witch in Melbourne, Victoria. Scrying. Often people ask me about divinatory methods. So we, I think as a group, have a desire to know what's coming next, which is great. It's a great desire. There are a lot of different things that you can do to scry. So scrying is the art of seeing, looking into something and maybe seeing the present, maybe seeing the future, maybe seeing events which have mattered to you in the past. So from scrying you can go any way. Most people use scrying to look at what might be coming next. You don't have to. Scrying is actually reasonably simple. I'll give you some idea of kind of how to scry, and I'd like to start with, first of all, just a bit of preparation. So before you scry, certainly for the first time, I would recommend switching on your third eye. If you're not sure how to switch your third eye on, imagine that you have a switch on the side of your head and you switch it on. You can imagine that your third eye is open. It's purely imaginal. Yeah, this is purely an imaginal technique which says, okay, I'm doing something different and I'd like to see differently. Obviously what we see through our two eyes is nothing compared to what we see with the rest of our body, let alone our other bodies. If you wish to look into different dimensions, so that dimension might be a future event for you or someone coming towards you that hasn't appeared in physical form yet, scrying is a great way of doing it. So I recommend flicking on the third eye. And then if you want to, you can imagine that you are walking down a beach into the sea, and it's a sea of human consciousness. In the sea of human consciousness you can go up to wherever you feel comfortable. Probably up to about here is where I would recommend. Just kind of hang out. Whilst you're hanging out there, you can get in touch with your guards, with your guides, with your totem creatures who will help you on your journey into seeing what's coming next, seeing the future, seeing the present, seeing the past. So those two techniques I would recommend for you, particularly if it's the first time that you've scryed. The essences which are most helpful I have found for scrying will include mugwort. Mugwort's labelled here beautifully because I put mugwort into something I was cooking to eat some time ago and we had to throw it away. Mugwort's incredibly strong and not to my liking, I have to say, certainly not for the eating. Mugwort I might put just a couple of like pinches, so just a couple of sprinkles on burning charcoal so that it's misting around me. That will help to open up my channels, help to open up my listening, my seeing, my larger perceptive self. I also have used myrrh and find myrrh. Just great fun. It's good, it smells good, it's very grounding, it's quite condensing. I like to, if I'm journeying, I like for my body to know that I'm still watching it and it's still safe. So I find myrrh very good for that. And mistletoe as well. So this is just a little, this is what I have left of mistletoe. Mistletoe is quite strong as well. I wouldn't recommend using all of these at once. I probably would put no more than 2 of these in a combination and then just see what works for you. If it's very strong, obviously feel free when you're finished to walk around, open windows, open doors, have a drink, something to eat. I have also found that meadowsweet is quite luscious and lovely. So those are the things I recommend. I would start with mugwort. If you don't have any of these, you might have rosemary, just some sprinkles or some little, whatever, leaves, arms, whatever they're called, of rosemary burning around you will help as well. What you would like to do, I believe, is centre and settle and ground, however you do that, and become present and prepared for what you're doing. So you might like to set an intention, and then you would sit down, maybe, standing is okay, mostly people will sit down, with maybe a crystal ball like this. This is mine. It's a big glorious crystal ball. Or a bit of water with some food colouring that you can drop food colouring in and see what you can see. You can scry through a dark mirror, so a mirror which is cloudy or brown or black. You can scry in any reflective surface at all. If you're wanting to do it with full focus and attention, I probably would start with crystal ball if you have one. If not, then maybe just a bit of water and some food colouring. That's what I'd recommend. Enjoy and have fun. Thank you.